And the first pitch of this game is a strike call. So we're underway. Jerry Davis is calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Pitch popped up. Foul ball. Hernandez back to the screen. He got a little late start in locating that one. Turned out to be academic. It's out of play. 0-2.
A couple of good fastballs right out of the chute. That's what the Rays are looking for. Strike one, strike two from Matt Garza. Well, let's see which one of those pitches that Matt was just talking about he's going to try to put away Chris Getz with. He's got the curve, got the slider, got the two-seamer. He likes to run into the inside corner.
And strike three call. He takes care of Getz. Got him looking. Retires him on 3 pitches.
It was choice number 3. It was the two-seamer on the inside corner. Excellent location. You see Michel Hernandez setting up inside. Look at this pitch. Nice little tailing action. Had plenty of the plate, but it fooled Chris Getz.
Lillibridge. He's 1 for 15, although he walked 3 times last night. And that really set the tone of what happened. 1 ball, no strikes.
And seeing Lillibridge for the first time in person, he likes to work the count. He takes a lot of pitches.
Takes this one upstairs. 2-0. During the regular season, Garza is 1-0 in 3 appearances against the White Sox. All of that with Minnesota. There's the strike. It's 2-1. We mentioned he did face them in game 3 of the ALDS last year. Inside a bit. Fastball. 3-1.
I'll tell you what, Lillibridge either has a pretty good eye or he's getting some pitches, because that's a pretty good pitch right there. I mean, unless it's right down the middle, this young hitter doesn't swing the bat.
Bounces it foul. 3-2. 3-1 fastball there. Interestingly enough, in one of those games with Minnesota, he did hook up against Gavin Floyd when the Twins beat the White Sox 2-0. There's a swing and a miss. Lillibridge out on strikes. Garza came back to get him. Put him away. Looked like a slider there.
It sure did. 88 miles an hour. Bottom falling out of this thing. Fading down and away and landing just behind home plate and picked by Michel Hernandez. Swing way over the top of it. The bottom fell out. Great pitch by Garza.
Now it's Carlos Quint.
First ball, fastball hitter.
Ground ball third. Ibar's there. And across the paint in. It's a 1-2-3 first. A very tiny first inning for Matt Garza. Rays coming in to hit. No score. Zobrist at short, the number 6 hitter. Gabe Gross in right, hitting 7th ahead of Akinori Iwamura and Michelle Hernandez facing Gavin Floyd.
26-year-old right-hander, 90 to 91 fastball, good overhand curveball.
BJ takes a pitch too low.
Couple of starts this year, earned run average is 6. His last start at Detroit, he got the win, but he gave up 6 earned runs in 5 innings, and he walked 7.
BJ strokes it into center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. So he's aboard. And Kevin, there's another case where Anderson was playing relatively deep in center. Ball fell in front of him.
He really was, and he's played pretty much all the right-hand hitters in the same spot. He plays behind the burst, and that's a low fastball right there. And it's a good pitch right there by Floyd, but a better piece of hit. Look where that ball is, down just about the knees. Look at him go down and get that and drive it into center field.
Well, let's see what the Rays do in the running department, because Floyd really gave up a lot of stolen bases in the games he pitched last year. In fact, while he was on the mound, you talk about running, and Tim Wakefield over in Boston with that knuckleball, he is subject to having base runners steal on him. He gave up 27 steals. There were 37 stolen bases with Gavin Floyd on the mound last year. Upton bluffs a little start. Crawford takes the pitch for a strike.
And right away, there's a slide step, 89 miles an hour. And what that does when you slide step, it takes a little bit of your power away. And plus, it's tough to slide step when you have a great overhand curveball.
That really is Floyd's best pitch. He's outstanding when it comes to the breaking ball. This one outside. So that sets up a little bit of a quandary, if you will, for Floyd with that good breaking ball, and at the same time trying to maybe speed up a delivery and hold runners. He steps back, taking a look at Upton. Two and one.
Yeah, 3 slide steps in a row. This is where, obviously, this is a good running count right here, 2 and 1. But BJ's doing the right thing, staying right there early in the count, because Floyd is so worried about him. Let him make a mistake at home plate.
Over to first. BJ's back in. Rays 18 of 19 in the steal department this year. Fouls it away. 2-2.
4 slide steps in a row, and I like that BJ didn't run there because of what I said. Gavin Floyd's so worried about BJ Upton that he's thrown 4 fastballs and not a whole lot on it. Carl just needs to put it in play. Now 2 and 2. I think about going right here. Floyd wants to make his pitch happen right now.
There goes BJ, and the pitch hit on the ground to second. No play there. Getz will have to take it to first, and BJ advances on the ground ball.
It's the right time to go by BJ. Very smart baseman right there. Floyd puts it right down the middle. Carl does make contact, and with a good break by BJ Upton, he's able to get to second base. Ball was hit hard, but a productive out.
So Evan Longoria will bat with a chance to drive in the first run of the game. He's the DH after tweaking his foot in last night's game, and Joe Madden decided to move him into the DH role, and with the off day tomorrow, that's a pretty good move.
And you still got his bat in the lineup.
One strike to count to Evan.
Looked like the cutter right there. We know the White Sox have been working all spring on their theme, and that's to teach everybody a cutter. And That's what that was right there, I believe, by Gavin Floyd, 86 miles an hour.
Yeah, all of these pitchers worked on the cutter the way so many of the Rays pitchers worked on the changeup this spring. 1-1 now.
By Don Cooper, the pitching coach. That was the theme of the Sox in spring training, to teach the cutters. And you know what that does for Gavin Floyd, gives him a little bit more movement if he doesn't have his curveball early. And we haven't seen him throw a curveball yet.
A turn, nothing doing back there. Getz trying to keep Upton as close to the bag as he could at second base. Yeah, that breaking ball, as good as the curveball is for Floyd, like any pitcher, it may take him an inning or two to get that thing going.
It's a field pitch. Takes a while to kind of cultivate it. You've heard me talk about that a lot, especially early in the game. Establish your fastball early.
Upton's headed to third. The pitch is a ball, and the throw is high off the mid of Betamit, and the Rays have a stolen base. The play backed up by Lillibridge. So the Rays are forcing the issue right here on the running game. You expect they'll do that any chance they have with Floyd out there.
And BJ took off. As soon as Floyd turned his head toward home plate, BJ took off. Great jump. A.J. Brzezinski throwing from his knees. I mean, he knew it. He had no chance to shuffle his feet. And almost threw it into left field.
Infield comes in. And the breaking ball is in there for strike three.
That's the out pitch right there, and it wasn't a real put-away pitch down. It just buckled Evan Longoria because it broke so hard. Take a look at this curveball right here. Over the top. Comes in at his left shoulder and drops down over the plate.
Well, he gets such big break that you'll see hitters do that against him.
Well, if you throw it with the same arm speed, it looks like a fastball coming at you, and that's why it buckled Evan Longoria.
Here's Carlos Pena. First pitch taken for a strike. Our Toyota trend. That's a nice trend by Carlos Pena. Currently the longest hitting streak in the American League at 11 games. One the count.
I'm watching B.J. Upton because Gavin Floyd's in the windup. I could see B.J. Upton doing a little Jackie Robinson a few times in his career, stealing home. I mean, he's reading him pretty well. He's getting way down that line.
And there's a strike to Pena.
Yeah, that looked down, and I have to agree. Carlos Pena. With a left-handed hitter, you really don't want to do it, steal home with Carlos Pena up there normally, but with a left-hand hitter, you can at least see the runner breaking to home. Give the pitcher something to think about.
2-2. Well, Upton has certainly been a distraction to this point on the bases, first time on.
With Upton's speed, you don't see many pitchers go to a windup these days with a runner at third.
And the breaking ball is in there for strike three call. So he used the breaking ball to get Longoria and Pena. Rays leave a man. We're at the end of an inning from Tropicana Field on Kids Day. On Sun Sports, brought to you by Checkers, Little Place, Big Taste, and Southeast Toyota dealers. You could buy a car that compares itself to a Toyota, or you could just buy a Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, moving forward. Jim Thome will lead it off in the second. First pitch is high and outside. Thome, the DH. He has 4 career at-bats against Garza. He has a hit and 3 strikeouts off him. This one drops a little low.
We saw him go left field against the shift earlier in the season, and in the series, I should say. So you've got Willie Arbar playing right normally where the shortstop would be. There he is.
It's in. Fastball inside, 3-0. Jermaine Dye next, followed by Paul Konerko. Middle of the Chicago lineup. And ball 4. So Garza, after retiring the side 1, 2, 3 in the first, walks Thome on 4 pitches to start the second inning.
A little flinch back there by Jerry Davis, like he wanted to call the 3-0 pitch, then decided, it's not close enough. I'm going to give it to Thome. I said that about Thome earlier. He, a guy like that with over 500 home runs, they do tend to get, if you have a good eye like he does, they will give the edge to a veteran guy. They don't want to admit that, but they do.
Jermaine Dye, the pitch to him is a fastball in there for a strike.
Reminds me of a story with Nolan Ryan facing George Brett one year that I was managing in 1993.
Fly ball back into left field. Crawford will go just short of the track. And Dye is the first out. He got that pitch in on him enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. That's a good pitch by Garza right there. That's what you got to do with Jermaine Dye. If you go up, it's got to be in because he gets extended with those big arms. Look at that ball run in on him right there, and he couldn't square it up. Nice pitch. But Nolan Ryan was having trouble against George Brett one particular game in Kansas City. Tim Tschida was behind the plate. And, Nolan was kind of looking and arguing a little bit, and I started yelling to defend Nolan to the umpire. And I said, that's a Hall of Famer out there. And Tim Tschida took off his mask and came 2 steps for the dugout and said, yeah, and there's one at home plate, too. So who gets the edge there?
Yeah, really.
And both of them, that was their last year. And they both 5 years later went to the Hall of Fame together along with Robin Yount.
Paul Konerko lines it off the glove of Garza. Picked up by Aki, and his throw to Carlos Peñas at first. So Konerko is out. He goes 1-4-3, and Thome moves up to second. Reaction play by Garza.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was. It's to his glove side. He almost caught it. And had he not, it probably would have been a double play, but you've got to react on that one just in case. As that ball was hit hard, it could have skipped into center field.
A.J. Przinsky, the veteran catcher. Upstairs, 1-0. So we mentioned Jerry Davis is calling the balls and strikes. He's the veteran crew chief of this umpiring assemblage. Been in the Major League since 1985.
I like to talk about the slot. The umpires call it the slot, where you see the head of the umpire, his eyesight is over the inside corner, in between the hitter and the catcher. It's a left-hand hitter. Of course, he's right in between A.J. Przinsky and Michel Hernandez, and he sees the inside corner perfectly. And if you're a good catcher, you can frame the outside corner. You might get a couple inches out there.
Fly ball back into deep right field with some carry. Gross will go to the wall. It's going to get out of here. AJ Brzezinski belts a home run. A 2-run shot to give Chicago the lead. Wow. Brzezinski's first home run of the year comes on a 2-0 pitch.
That's a fastball pretty much right down the middle. About belled high, and AJ was all over it. Look one more time. Right there. Right down the middle. Try to go away. AJ jumped on it.
So the White Sox break out in front using the long ball. Here's Wilson Betterman. Pitch outside. Well, Garza, as you might expect, was not happy about that. He was upset and really stomped around the infield. Now he'll try to put that behind him. One and one. I mean, his reaction was immediate out there on the hill.
Well, he knew right away he got squared up. I mean, he knew he made a mistake. It was up and over the plate. Just a mistake, and good hitters will hit that.
Foul ball back. There is a bit of a perfectionist streak in Matt Garza, and that's not a bad thing altogether if you can make it work for you.
Yeah, now he just put his zeros up there. I mean, he's had 2 great starts. He's only given 1 run against the Red Sox in 7 innings and 2 against the Yankees in 7. And when the Yankees got a 2-0 lead against A.J. Burnett, with A.J. Burnett pitching the other day. Pitch.
That takes care of Betterman. So, strikeout ends it. His third. Gave up the 2-run home run, and we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Chicago.
Where I didn't want to play, but you know, he got me out there, and you know, I got to thank him for that.
Well, it's all paid off. I'll tell you, the MVP of the club last year, Jason Bartlett. Willie Ibar sending a high fly ball down to center field. Anderson with a lot of room makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out against Gavin Floyd in the Rays half of the second. Floyd really had a breakthrough season last year. He was 1-5 in 10 starts and 6 relief appearances the year before in 07 for the White Sox. Last year, 17-8 in 33 starts. And Zobrist takes a strike.
The other thing, he pitched 206 innings and he only gave up 190 hits, and anything less than 1-1 is excellent.
Zobrist behind in the count. Change up.
He throws a hard change. That was a good one. 84 miles an hour with great tailing action. Good arm speed.
Up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stayed wide.
Boy, that's a tough pitch to lay off. That is a hammer for a curveball. He almost nipped the outside corner with it.
2-2 delivery. And there's strike 3, a fastball. Well, a pretty good variety of pitches seen that time by Zobrist.
Yeah, it caught Ben in between. I think that last curveball, I think Ben was thinking, well, maybe he's going to try to do that again, and then he gets 92 on the outside corner. Paint at the knees. Not a whole lot you can do with that. That is a good sequence called by A.J. Brzezinski, and excellent execution by Gavin Floyd.
Here's Gabe Gross. Fly ball center field. Anderson going back for it. He makes the catch. Fastball, and that retires the side. 1-2-3. We head into inning number 3. 2-0 Chicago. Make another change, and B.J. Upton has been replaced in center field by Gabe Kapler. We'll get the Whit Watson on that to see if we can get an update on that situation. That would not be good news.
No, that's a tough blow because he just got a nice base hit, stole a base.
Ron Anderson takes a pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
And I also thought B.J. last night had some really good at bats. Started using the field and just kind of getting his timing down offensively.
I really thought that when he hit that ball to the warning track in right field in the 9th inning, I thought that was a great sign after a line drive single to left back in the 5th.
Very much so.
But I love that he's got a great stroke toward right center, and we saw that in his last at bat last night. There's a strike. 2-1. So Kapler is now in center field in the place of Upton.
Well, you hope it's nothing with the shoulder. The first thing I think of, because he ran the bases and stole third, was maybe a little tweak with the leg, but we don't know. We'll find out.
2-2 now. White Sox scored 2 in the second on the Krasinski home run. And a full count to Anderson, the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, Matt's trying to gather himself there. He kind of fell off a little bit. The left side of the mound, didn't get on top of that. He would drive it toward home plate, finish off, bending his back right toward his target.
Three-two, liner into left. Here comes Crawford, but it's going to fall in front of him. And the number 9 hitter is aboard to lead off the third. Don't forget, don't miss a minute of the action with Rays season tickets. You can save up to 35%. You get great benefits and the best seats in the Trop. You can use them in the office for top clients or spend more time with the kids. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Chris Getz, the top of the order. And the bunt is fouled. Strike one.
There's a little small ball. Ozzie Guillen likes that with Anderson, Getz, and Illibridge. These 3 guys in a row setting the table for the power hitters. Quentin, Tomei, Dye, and Konerko. And then of all guys, although AJ's got some power, I mean, he hits the big home run already in the second inning.
He's talked about making the commitment to Getz to have him at second base and in the top part of the lineup. There goes the runner, and the pitch is foul out of play. The count will go to 0-2. Strike pitch about to be made. And it's down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. BJ, the preliminary reports we get, tightness in his right quad.
First thing I thought of, because he ran, the first inning, gets a base hit, runs on the 2-2 pitch, gets the second, steals third, and sometimes early in these day games, quick burst of speed. Tweaks on it.
2-2 the count to Getz. He did not offer. The Rays wanted the appeal, but Mike Everett said no at third.
Yeah, this is again. It's the 2-2 count with a guy like Anderson. You probably think he'd be going right here. Once in a while, to keep teams honest, if they run 2-2 a lot, not that you want to do that here. You're going to have to pitch out once in a while.
Anderson does not go. The ball lifted to center. Kapler back. It's the first out.
You definitely didn't want to do it there and, go to 3-2, and then you have a couple guys on possibly for the heart of the lineup. But I think teams against the Rays might have to do that once in a while.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, as you know, as a former manager, Kevin, you really have to pick your spots, because there are some pitchers who just detest the idea of a pitch out.
And they won't do it.
Illibridge. It's inside. 1 ball, no strikes. It just goes against their grain. I mean, their idea is to throw strikes.
Especially a 2-2 pitch out, but there are some managers that will do that, and it gets you as the manager that likes to run. I know it happened to me a few times when I was managing. It makes you think about it.
Base hit. That's going to go through the hole. Anderson rounds second and stops on the single into left, and Illibridge has a hit. Well, you don't want to see this trend as we did last night when some of the lighter hitters in that 8 and 9 spot. Lillibridge, who came in yesterday hitting .077, walked 3 times in the leadoff spot. When those guys start to get on base, then you have to face guys like this guy, Carlos Quentin, who's due up with men on base.
Yeah, Lillibridge walked 3 times yesterday. Brian Anderson walked twice. Corky Miller walked twice.
Quentin comes out swinging and took a vicious cut at that pitch. Strike 1.
He lets it fly. I mean, that's well known. Notorious first ball hitter. And Garza went right after him. I think Carlos does. He works the count pretty well, too. He's got a pretty good eye at the plate.
Pretty close right there. 1-1, 6 home runs on the year for Carlos Quentin. He got 2 in this series. That one came last night when he connected off Kazmir. The other one off Shields in the game here Friday. And that one hits him. Well, that's what we were talking about at the outset. He's right up on the plate, and he's going to get hit by pitches as he did 20 times last year. That's going to load the bases.
Now let's take a look. Michelle Hernandez setting up inside. That's the 2-seamer. It just ran in on the left elbow of Carlos Quentin.
So just like that, you know, the number 9 hitter who was hitting .176 gets on, and Lillibridge, who was hitting .067 coming into this game, he singles. Now Quentin is hit by a pitch. The bases are loaded with 1 out, and you're facing their cleanup man, Jim Thome.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Matt Garza's stuff. He's throwing the ball 92 to 94. Movement is good. That was a good 2-seamer. It just ran so much that it ran in on Quentin's elbow. Minimize any damage right here. You got a guy that obviously can take you out of the ballpark, but Jim Thome can also strike out. Get a double play ball. Got the shift on the right side. Of course, Willie Arbaugh playing wide at third. Big hole at shortstop.
Thome walked and scored on the Brzezinski homer in the second. Ground ball. 1 play to first with that shift. Run scores. Anderson crosses the plate. Zobrist, who was on the first base side of second, had to go to first. They got the out there, and the White Sox score their 3rd run.
Well, there's Zobrist playing right at where the second baseman would have been. You know, and that's where the shift might have hurt you, because that's a double play ball normally, but you play the percentages and you live and die by that. And you're not able to turn 2 because there's no chance to get back to second base and tag the bag.
Runners second and third. Here's Jermaine Dye. The ground ball to third. Ibar's throw to first in time, and that retires the side. So the damage limited to 1 run. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Chicago. SunTrust. From Tropicana Field, Rays are down 3-0, bottom of the third, and Akinori Iwamura will lead off. Hockey, then the catcher, Michelle Hernandez, and back around to the top of the order. That'll be Gabe Kapler. Hockey hitting .300 to start the game. Pitch is a strike. One and one. Gavin Floyd on the mound for the White Sox. And originally with the Philadelphia Phillies. Line drive. There's a base hit for Aki into right to start the inning. Lead off base hit. Aki's at first. Let's check in with Whit Watson here. Whit.
Hi, Dwayne. Thanks very much. Just a quick update on B.J. Upton. The tightness in the quad, the training staff has been shuttling back and forth from the clubhouse to the dugout to give updates on Upton. And Joe Madden addressed B.J. specifically during his pregame conversation with the press. Really wanted B.J. Upton to get some at-bats. He feels like Upton right now is in the latter stages of spring training after rehabbing from that shoulder surgery. It's really unfortunate as far as the Rays are concerned because it was a point of emphasis for Madden. He wanted Upton to see some more pitches. Right now he felt like the pitchers were ahead of B.J. Dwayne.
Yeah, that's what we saw last night. That's commenting earlier. We really thought the last couple times he was starting to swing the bat well and was just right on the verge of breaking out. Here's Hernandez with a little roller to Getz. This plays to Konerko at first. Hernandez is out, and Iwamura moves into second base, and so what you hope is he's out of the game early. Tomorrow's a day off, but the Rays can nurse him through, and he'll be as good as new before you know it.
Right, a little tightness, precautionary, get him out of there right away. That's the right move. And the other thing, we did talk about that last night. I mean, the last couple of at-bats, he's really starting to see the ball better and drive the ball opposite field. The first at-bat today, nice line drive single to center, and that's exactly right because remember, I mean, he's been facing some minor league guys and really didn't have a whole lot of swings in normal spring training, and the pitchers are ahead of him right now. He's just starting to get his timing back, and he's been facing some really good pitching on his homestand.
Gabe Kapler facing Floyd. 1 ball, no strikes, and the Rays trying to find a way to get a run on the board.
Gabe had a real nice year last year for the Brewers, and he's got to start getting some hits because they need him. The Rays need him right now.
He's under this one and pops it into shallow center. Anderson makes the catch. 2 gone. That'll be up to Carl Crawford. Carl grounded out to second his first time. You know, the other thing about Upton in regard to this game, he's the one guy who in the postseason had some success. He had 2 home runs off Floyd in the ALDS game he pitched against the Rays. Crawford fouls it back, strike 1.
Well, that and combined with the fact that Gabe Kapler's had a tough start here in 09, he's 2 for 21 now.
Oh, and 1 the count. That evens it. Rays giving Bartlett the day off. Matt Burrell's not in the lineup. Kapler has replaced B.J. Upton. Two and 1.
Gavin Floyd in his last start walked 7. So far his command's been good. Hasn't walked anybody.
Yeah, he went from striking out 9 against Kansas City and walking 2 in 7 innings to striking out 2 and walking 7 in 5 innings against the Tigers his last time out. 2-2. Crawford fouls him.
Overall last year he walked 70. Man, he struck out 145 in 206 innings, so he had a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is okay. 3-to-1 is what you're looking for. Anything above that is fantastic. Strikeout to walk. So far he has 3 strikeouts.
He was 10th in the league last year in innings pitched. He did get a lot of run support a year ago. He not only had more bases stolen against him than anybody else, but he gave up 30 home runs, which was second in the league in that category. Only 5 and 19 in the big leagues. Short left, went in and now back a couple steps, and the Rays leave a man, no runs with a hit. Eddie Mamora left at second. We're through 3-0 Chicago.
Until your body matures and just have fun, locate that fast one, blow by everybody like Cass says.
That's pretty good advice. Locate that fastball.
Yeah, he does. He throws about 70% of the time. Garza will throw the fastball, which for a guy with his stuff and his type of fastballs, that's about right. And he works off of that with his breaking stuff.
Paul Konerko leads off the 4th. Pitch is high. Here's the breakout.
Breakout of Matt Garza to lefties versus righties. 70% to lefties, about 68 to righties. The slider breakout's interesting. More sliders to righties, of course. Curveball, more curveballs to left-handed hitters, and the changeups anywhere from 4 to 7% of the time. But this is, against lefties, and the most righties with a good curve will do that more to lefties if they have both the slider and the curveball. The slider going down and away, of course, to righties, which he does very well. And throw that power curve down the dirt to lefties for a put-away pitch.
2-1 to count as Konerko fouls this one away.
And those fastballs are a variety of four-seamers, which is anywhere from 94 to sometimes 97, and the two-seamers, he throws anywhere from 88 to 91 with good movement, good tailing action. And he'll do that a lot of times in on lefties with two strikes, paint the inside corner. And the one he threw to Przinsky was a two-seamer that he tried to fade away and just left it out over the plate for the home run.
3 balls and a strike to Konerko. Garza in a 1-2-3 first with a couple strikeouts. Gave up the walk to Tomey in the second, and 2 outs later, Przinsky hit the home run. Tomey drove in a run with a ground ball in the third. Now it's 3-1 to Konerko. Foul ball, runs it full.
That's why Konerko wears that shin guard. Protect his left ankle with foul balls. He gets out front a lot to protect those foul balls right out the ankle or the shin. Can create a big time bruise or hematoma, which can be a dangerous thing.
A little low. It's close to a very good pitch. He threw him a slider and it didn't miss by much. And it's time for our Aflac trivia question. Aflac, ask about it at work. According to the Rays media guide, which Ray would like to be a fireman when he retires?
Really? Respect that job.
Well, hey, there are a lot of kids here who would aspire to be a fireman on Kids Day, I'm sure.
We all did, sure, as kids. I did.
Which is outside, 1-0. Troy Percival already is a fireman. He's supposed to be the closer out there.
Yes, he is.
Put out the fires. Runner takes off, and Przinsky fouls it. So they had Konerko on the move with Przinsky up there.
Well, Ozzie Guillen's really staying true to his word in spring training that they want to do more running. Matt Garza with 50 pitches, 27 strikes. That's only 54%. You'd like to get it in the mid-60s, 63 to 65%. In his first 2 starts, that's what he was doing. He was pounding the zone pretty well.
Liner center field. That's going to fall in front of Kapler. Down to second goes Konerko as Przinsky. It's a soft line drive base hit into center.
And this was about location. That ball was up. And Przinsky's eyes lit up on that one. Now you got potential bunt situation here. Take a look. That's just a ball up in the zone again. I get way up right there, just below the letters, and drops into left center field. Corners are up just in case Bediment will bunt. Bediment has pretty darn good power from the left side. So Pena backs up a little bit at first base.
And he takes a full cut, fouling away that first pitch. Garza struck him out on a slider first time around. Garza out there making his third start. Fastball is high. 1-1. He's not exactly hitting all of his spots today as he makes the start, coming off his first 2, and they were good ones against the Red Sox and the Yankees. Ground ball, shortstop. Zobrist to Aki 1, first base 2. That eases the situation. A 6-4-3 double play. Konerko goes to third as the double play started by Zobrist takes care of Przinski and Betamine.
Yeah, let's take a look at the turn. Zobrist and the feed. Nice feed. Aki he's so quick and accurate. Look at that strike over to first base. Really impressive the way Aki turns double plays.
Brian Anderson and his leadoff single in the third led to run number 3 for the White Sox. Strike call.
Well, Brian got a hit in the third inning on a 3-1 fastball, pretty much right down the middle. Hit it to left field.
And another strike. Another fastball.
Well, let's see if the pattern holds true. 22% of the time the righties will throw a slider, and 10% to lefties. And a lot of times in this situation.
Fastball. Pumped it up a little bit there.
He went gas, 94. Trying to put Brian Anderson away with a strikeout power fastball.
2 outs with a man at third, top of the fourth. Up again. Hard stuff one more time. Walk and a single open the inning, but a double play has helped, and now Garza's ahead 1-2 to Anderson. Missed with a couple of fastballs, and he got him that time. Doing the slider and strikes him out. They leave a man at third. Middle of the order due up for the Rays, starting with Evan Longoria. 3-0.
League, but you know, I did play for a couple years, and it definitely was helpful in my you know, my growth as a baseball player, I guess. So you know, there wasn't too many moments that that kind of stand out, but you know, I did play with a bunch of guys now who are now my friends still. So.
And Evan leads off the bottom of the fourth inning, takes a strike. I think there are a couple of interesting things Evan said about his Little League experience. Number one, he played with a lot of guys who are still his friends today. Well, I mean, that's one of the great benefits of playing Little League baseball. And the other thing is a little tap to second. Getz will make this play. You know, Evan was a late bloomer, and he's a guy who was not the greatest player growing up. And in fact, coming out of high school, had no colleges of any note interested in him. And he matured physically late. He was a little guy for a while, and so I think it's a great story of a guy who just continued to play and work hard, grew, and has made himself into the Rookie of the Year.
And, you know, he's still so young. I mean, you really don't reach your peak as a ball player, your prime years, until you're about 28, 29 as a hitter. He's already Rookie of the Year, and he's hitting over 400 coming into today's game. He goes the other way. He works counts well. He's got a fluid swing. Hits it for power.
One strike the count on Carlos Pena. Oh, 2. Carlos out on strikes his first time. Caught looking at a curveball.
Last pitch was a good changeup that he learned from former pitching coach and great man, friend of mine, Johnny Padres, that passed away. Was a believer.
I 1-2, yeah.
Was a believer in Gavin Floyd and taught him the changeup and how you backspin it. And Johnny worked with the Dodgers when I was there as a minor league instructor and got to know him very well. Boy, he could teach anybody a changeup. And, you know, guys like Pedro Martinez and Ramon Martinez, around guys like that who had great ones. And he taught Gavin Floyd that changeup.
2-2.
Look at the guys that the White Sox have acquired, though. You know, Gavin Floyd and John Danks.
Yep.
John Danks, of course, from Texas. Talked about that the other day, all the pitchers that they've given up on.
Foul ball. Well, they'd love to have Danks now. They'd love to have Galarraga over in Detroit.
Boy, absolutely.
That's not an easy park for pitchers over there. We've chronicled that through the years. The ball flies out of there. The infield is hard. So if you try to keep the ball down, it rockets through the infield.
That's right.
Swing and a miss. Pena is out on strikes for the second time. That changeup got him right there. Time for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. According to the Rays media guide, which Ray would like to be a fireman when he retires? Well, it's probably because he has prior experience, and that would be Troy Percival. He'd like to be like his dad.
Why not? Very cool.
Willie Ibar takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Got to get a couple of these guys like Ibar and Gabe Kapler. Got to get them going.
High fly ball center field. Anderson is there waiting, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. We've gone through 4 innings this afternoon. It's a kid's Sunday. And the White Sox lead the Rays 3-0. On the hill today for the Rays. He faces the top of the Chicago lineup now, Chris Getz. That fastball is a little high. 1 ball, no strikes. That's the 60th pitch for Garza. He's been okay in that department in pitch count. He'd just like to have a little better ratio of strikes to pitches out of the strike zone. And he'd like to have some offense to support him. That wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I say some of the extra guys that are getting some at bats, like I said, gave cap to Willie Ibar. And Willie Ibar was so important last year. You got to get those guys going.
Ground ball pulled to Aki, comes up on him, stays with it. The throw to first in time. Gets his out of there. 1 away. Don't forget the Corona Beach Bar hosts 75 or more people in the exclusive setting during Rays games. Reserve the Corona Beach Bar by calling 727-825-3406. You could be out there right now had you done that, or if you email group sales at raysbaseball.com. It's a comfortable way to watch the game and be refreshed.
I think so. Very nice.
Brent Lillibridge. Pitch is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. One thing about this game, and you know, the Rays are 5-7 coming into play. There's a lot of baseball to be played, and so you know, you'd prefer to be 7-5 or better than that. But if you're 7-5, there aren't any guarantees, and if you're 5-7, there aren't any guarantees the other way either. It's a long process.
Well, you look at even the American League Central right now. Kansas City's in first place. They're 7-4. Toronto in the American League East is 9-4 coming into today's action.
But Seattle, they're off to an 8-4 start.
Right. You know, Florida, 10-1. I could make a pretty good argument that those 4 teams are not going to finish where they are right now.
At least not with those winning percentages.
No.
Ball 3, Lillibridge ahead in the count.
2 teams that are atop their division, which are most people pick them to be. The Dodgers are 9-3 in first, but San Diego's tied 9-3, and everybody picked them last. They're supposed to lose 100 games this year. And then you got the Cubs in first place at 7-4, but the Cardinals are tied with them at 8-5.
And there's ball 4, so Lillibridge walks. 1 on, 1 out. Whit standing by. Whit, how you doing?
Dwayne, I got to tell you, it's been slim pickings trying to find signs. I think the word is not quite out yet, but Nicholas and his dad Tony, and Tony has been adamant. He's been vigilant. This sign has not come down throughout the entire ball game. So again, we're going to walk the stands for the rest of the contest. It's your first baseball game. What do you think so far?
It's kind of cool.
Your seats, I mean, you got a good view of everything up here, do you not?
Yeah, we do.
The glove may be a little bit optimistic. I'm not sure foul balls are going to make it.
Yeah, but we're going to hope.
Good for you. Hope. See, it's baseball. Hope springs eternal. Hey, there's one. That was actually close. So we're going to keep looking for the signs. We're going to try to find one for you, Dwayne.
Well, way to go.
And we're going to keep working on the best sign, and we'll find it by the end of the game.
All right. Well, that one is right now. That one's in first place.
There you go.
And I like the attitude. There's a great attitude up there. He thinks the game's kind of cool. He's got his glove, and he thinks he's got a shot to get a ball up there.
Yeah, why not?
I like that attitude. That's great.
This guy can do it. Carlos Quentin. Lillibridge, little bluff right there. And Garza did exactly the right thing. He stepped off the mound and looked toward second base. Lillibridge had kept his feet moving. You got to make him stop over there. You remember Ricky Henderson? Well, that was the key to him. I mean, you keep his feet just slowly moving, and you get that momentum going towards second base. And that's what Lillibridge was trying to do there.
Foul ball. It's 0-2. White Sox scored 2 runs in the second on A.J. Pierzynski's first home run of the year. Added another run on a ground ball RBI in the third. Comey driving in the run. One on, 1 out in the fifth. Ground ball, third base, Ibar down to Aki 1, first base 2. They get the double play. That'll take care of Chicago in the top of the 5th inning. Nice job by Aki in the middle of that 5-4-3 double play. So we go to the home half of the 5th. It's 3-0 Chicago. Braves looking for some runs. We go to the home half of the 5th inning. They're down 3-0, and Ben Zobrist leads off. Gavin Floyd delivers, and there's a bouncer foul outside of first. Strike 1. Ben hit the big pinch hit grand slam home run here Friday night that lifted the Rays to a 6-5 win. Getting a start at shortstop. He started his career as a shortstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rays got him out of the Houston organization. It's popped up foul. Out of play. 1-2.
Valuable guy. He can play right field, center field. Everywhere in the outfield, actually. Second base, shortstop, switch hit, and a little bit of power from both sides.
Yep. You know, I mean, you can make an argument. You could put him every place except pitch and catch.
Right.
And I'm not so sure that you couldn't convince him to do one or both of those.
He'd be my designated third catcher, if you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's and he's, you know, the last year and a half he's shown some pop in that bat.
Well, his home runs, the one he hit in Baltimore was a blast. I mean, they're not cheapies, and that grand slam the other night was a blast.
Out on strikes this time to start the 5th. Breaking pitch.
Floyd's got that put-away curveball. That's what that was. Ben struck out looking on the curveball in the second inning. That was just a hammer off the table. Swinging.
Here's Gabe Gross. The one thing Gavin Floyd did last year in his breakout season that good starting pitchers do, and that is win a game after your team has lost a game or two. He was 9-2 in 15 starts following a White Sox loss last year.
That's huge.
He throws a strike. See, last year 17-8 and 206 plus innings, 33 starts. Two and one.
Any ERA today below 4, especially in the American League, that's fantastic. His ERA was 3.84 last year. But he's got a real compact delivery, not a lot of moving parts. Keeps his glove right in front of the chest. Locked in on the target. Good hip turn and good alignment. A little bit like Mark Burley. Very compact delivery. Look at his glove right there. Locked in the whole time. Never takes his eye off the target. Good finish getting over the front leg. Some guys will turn and take their eyes elsewhere. He's locked in the whole time throughout the delivery on the target.
Three and two. Check swing, bouncer back toward the mound. Floyd's tossed to first. So 2 up, 2 down in the 5th inning. Experiential Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club. It features extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Whitney Bank Club offers an upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com for more information. You won't be sorry. That's a great place to enjoy an afternoon or an evening of Rays baseball here at Tropicana Field. Base is empty. Here's Akinori Iwamura. Inside 1-0. Rays have just 2 hits off Floyd. Upton got a leadoff base hit. Was stranded at third in the first. Aki singled to open the third and was left on second base. 1-1. So Floyd has retired 8 in a row now.
Well, and the biggest thing for Gavin Floyd, he hasn't walked anybody. He's throwing strikes. I mentioned that he walked 7 against the Tigers at Detroit April the 13th, but today he's had excellent command.
It's 2-1.
He's got the changeup working. He's got the curveball working as the put-away pitch with 2 strikes. And he's spotting his fastball, both sides of the plate.
Rolls even in the count, 2-2.
You know, that sets up the curveball. Once he gets the 2 strikes, he likes to pound that curveball down in the dirt. Like that.
It's a full count, 3-2. Skies a pop-up to the left side. Lillibridge at shortstop has the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We are through 5, and it's 3-0 Chicago.
You got the left foot on the bag, pushing off the right leg to get some power and throw a strike over there. And then from third base, Willie Ibar throws a strike. He's going to come across the bag here and get out of the way of the runner and throw a strike over to first base. There's basically 4 ways to turn a double play. Those are 2 of them right there.
And that was our checkers double of the game. Jim Thome takes a fastball, and this time it's a strike. The 6th inning is underway.
It's good quick footwork, though, by Iwamura. Depending on where the throws comes from, you turn the double play differently.
That's in there. Breaking ball. Thome with 6 runs batted in, including 1 in this game. He got that one against the shift when he had a ground ball to Zobrist, who was on the right side of the bag at second, as he is again here. Thome walked and scored in the 2nd. Pops it up. It's out of play. Garza working here in the 6th inning. Count still 2-2.
Curveball right there. 75 pitches, 43 for strikes now. He's had a little bit better command going on. Trying to keep the game right here at 3-0.
The pitch is down.
That Garza has gone over 100 pitches in both of his starts. His first start in Boston, he had 106 pitches, and the one on the 14th against the Yankees, 112. He's been the workhorse so far of the starters.
76 pitches right now, working to the first man in the 6th, and he walks Thome. Second time he's walked Thome, the 3rd walk he's given up today. And they've all come to open innings. He opened by walking Thome in the 2nd. He opened the 4th by issuing the walk to Paul Konerko. And another walk to Thome here to begin the 6th.
Now, the one thing he's been able to do to help himself is get those double plays that we just saw a moment ago. He's got a couple of them in big situations. Keep the game right here.
Jermaine Dye. He takes the pitch too low. A ball and no strikes. He misses in this time. Jim Hickey's headed to the mound. A walk to Thome, and now falling behind Dye.
Yeah, Jim Hickey trying to remind him to drive the ball toward your target, because the last couple of pitches he's really tried to force it and was opening up too soon and falling off way off to the left side. Everybody falls off to whichever side they pitch from. Right-handers will fall off to the left, but you want to make sure you bend your back and get your alignment going right toward your target before you do that. And he's just opening up a little bit too soon. And one thing Matt has had in his first 2 starts is he's done a really good job at powering that ball right toward where he wants it, right toward his target.
He throws a strike. Came back with a fastball. 2-1. Outside of third, squares the count.
amazing. Sometimes you just need those little reminders from the pitching coach or your catcher, or some guys are able to do it. He's been able to do it by himself. Backs off the mound, takes his time, gathers himself, and gets back on the rubber.
You get so caught up in the moment of competing. Sometimes that stuff gets away from you.
That's exactly right.
He's low with this pitch and a full count to Dye.
See if Ozzie Guillen puts Jim Thome in motion here.
Well, they had Konerko in motion in the fourth inning.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think, Dye's been having a pretty good series. I think he will put him in motion. Nope.
Dye pops it up, a high foul. It's going to wind up out of play.
Ozzie may figure it may not make a difference if I put him in motion. He doesn't run fast enough to make the infield move.
Yeah, he's not going to force the issue in
Right.
second.
Right.
He will if he gets there, but
Yeah.
getting there is another matter.
That's right.
Foul. That one moves Jeff Cox out of the coaching box.
Jeff Cox is an interesting guy that you brought him up. I remember managing against him in rookie ball. I think he was with the Reds organization, and he talked about running 2-2. This guy could fly when he played. By the way, he played with the A's, and he used to love the 2-2 running count. And then he told me that's what he used to steal on all the time, 2-2.
And there's a fly ball in deep to left off this 3-2 pitch. Crawford going to have to play it off the wall and come back to get it. Thome will go to third, and Dye's in at second. And the White Sox threaten again. Dye gets a two-base hit out of that.
So big and strong, Jermaine Dye got out in front. Take a look at Carl Crawford. Didn't quite get there. Thome had to slow down, and then with nobody out, I mean, he's not going to try to score. Second and third, nobody out.
There was a moment of uncertainty there as Carl went to the wall after that ball.
I think if Carl had gotten there, he had to play, but I think he thought it was out at first.
Paul Konerko, the infield close on the right side. A pitch is in, well in, 1-0. Ibar and Zobrist on the left side with Iwamura and Pena on the right side. You see the defensive alignment.
Iwamura is pretty much right up the middle. Just a few feet to the left of second base from his standpoint.
A foul ball back. You know, the way the Rays set up their defense, and they chart all of these, Pena probably spends more time well off that first base bag than any other first baseman we see.
No doubt about that. I mean, if they hit it down the line, so be it. But there's more hits in that hole right there where Pena's at than there is down the line. And, if the ball's hit up the middle, Iwamura has a chance to throw Thome out at home plate. He's about 2 feet from the grass, but up the middle.
Fly ball into left. Crawford's there to make the catch. Thome's going to tag and head to the plate, and he will score without a play. So Thome scores on a sacrifice fly. It's now 4-0. Konerko picks up his 10th run batted in.
Pretty quick break from third base. I don't think the Rays are going to appeal. They did yesterday, and it didn't work out on a play. But
Lance Cormier throwing in the bullpen. Well, let's take a look at third now that you bring it up.
Yeah, here's Thome right there. See him break? That's close.
It is close.
I just saw that live because I have the alignment up here in a press box, and I said, you know what, I'd been appealing that if I were down there. The one last night, was it Lillibridge on the pop-up to Uemura?
Yeah, right field.
Yeah, the one that Kapler probably should have called Aki off on.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that one was okay. But it was a little lean there by Tommy. He tried to get a little jump start there.
Dive back in at second. Two and 0.
That's a pretty good pitch. I mean, that's where you got to stay on AJ. He's hit 2 mistakes. His 2 fastballs out over the plate for a home run and a single.
That's high. 3 and 0, and for the first time today in any one inning, Garza's over 20 pitches in an inning. It comes here in the 6th.
Yeah, he's at 90 pitches now. And he's just had to work hard today. He's had some tougher innings than he's had in his first 2 starts. It's been a tough 90 pitches.
And he walks Brzezinski. So Brzezinski goes to first, dives at second with 1 out.
Not always the pitch count and how high it is. It's what types of innings you've had. And he's had to work pretty hard today. He's had a lot of men on base. He's gotten a couple double plays. But, from the 2nd inning to now, he's had to work hard to get through these innings.
Well, he had a 1-2-3 first, and after that, the White Sox have had men on base in every inning.
Right.
Donovan pops it up short left toward the line. Crawford's there. Ibar had gone out from third base after it. Niwamura had to hustle over to cover third just in case Dye had any thoughts about advancing, because for the longest third base was left open. 2 outs with the runners still at first and second.
That was quick thinking by Uemura, because Zobrist and Ibar went out as Crawford came in to catch that high pop-up, and you're absolutely right. Third base was wide open. Very instinctive player.
The number 9 hitter, the center fielder, Anderson, opened with a base hit in the 3rd. That's the other thing. Not only since the first have they had men on base, but in 4 of those 5 innings, the leadoff hitter has been on. So Garza's been pitching out of the stretch almost all day. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's just not getting that pitch. I know the angle there, it probably is inside, but it looks pretty good, and he's just not getting that call in there. Not missing by much.
Up and in. 2-0. You know, that has something to do when a club goes into a stretch like the Rays have been. You know, you get 3 or 4 or 5 games in a row where maybe you get those calls. Well, that's a whole different thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's 25 pitch inning now for Matt. He's had to work pretty hard. I wouldn't be surprised if this is his last inning. I mean, he's at 95 right now. As I said, he had 2 starts over 100. I would think this might be his last hitter.
2-1. Or 5-0 for the White Sox. 0-2-0 for the Rays. The 2-1. Evens it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Little slider up. Brian Anderson's eyes lit up, but he swung underneath it.
So he's trying to get Anderson to get out of the inning and limit the damage to a run. 2 men on in the pitch. The hopper back to the hill, knocked down by Garza. The throw to first is late and wide. Dye will score. They're going to stop Przinsky, and down to second goes Anderson. You can see a little of the frustration coming out in that play. That's going to be a base hit and an error charge to Garza as he tried to rush things to make a play at first. So a base hit, an error, and now another run is home.
Check swing on the breaking ball right there, and Matt tips it off his glove. But really on that one, with Brian Anderson's speed, you just got to put it in your pocket, and Joe Madden will make the move right now.
Well, the desperation throw was wide, and so that's going to be it. Garza departs. We'll be back in a moment.
The infield besides that ball, so it was nice.
The youngsters here on Kids Sunday at the ballpark. Lance Cormier is going to be the new pitcher for the Rays. He inherits 2 base runners and faces the top of the order, Chris Getz. And the pitch is a strike. So a base hit for Anderson. He wound up at second on the throwing error as the run scored. So there's no run batted in. Dye scored coming around from second. And a one-hop base hit past the diving Iwamura. Przinsky scores. Anderson scores. 2 more runs are home. And that's going to make it a 4-run inning and a 7-0 ball game. So Getz drives in a pair.
Yeah, you got to pitch down too. It was a pretty good pitch. He just went down and got it.
Lillibridge. The pitch is a strike. A base hit. Pitch up. Lillibridge takes it the other way. He's on for the 3rd time. Well, Lillibridge was on 3 times last night with 3 walks. He's on 3 times today with 2 hits and a walk.
Yeah, he got a fastball up, out over the plate, just not a good pitch, and smoked it into right field. A couple good games for him, and Ozzie Guillen will give him more playing time. That's the way Ozzie is. If you're doing the job, you're going to get some at bats. He's happy with what he's seen from some of these guys. 8, 9 hitters.
Went, sends a fly ball to right center. Gross is there to catch it. White Sox are out, but they send 9 men to the plate and score 4. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 7-0 Chicago. HondaDealers.com to find great deals on fuel-efficient Hondas. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Bottom of the 6th inning with Michel Hernandez to lead it off, and he loops one into right center. That's going to fall for a base hit, and he has his first hit of the day. And with that base hit, let's check in with Whit Watson, who's in pursuit of signs and banners.
Well, Dwayne, it took some doing, but we finally found Barbara and Arlene, and this is pretty good. Now, hold that up for us so the fans can see it. This is our sign of the day. Throw those dirty, stinky socks into the bay, and there's a little added extracurriculars with the players' names and numbers. How long did this take you?
Oh, my God, not long at all. Actually, this sign was at the ALCS Game 7 against Boston. Because on the flip side, I got the Boston player. So
turn that around real quick. You got to turn it for this camera over here. Crisp, Pedroia, Ortiz. Dwayne, there's history to this sign. We didn't just slap this together today. This is good stuff from the Boston series. So congratulations. Great job, guys. That is our sign of the day on Kids Sunday.
Yeah, there's history and tradition. That's what this game's all about. And versatility. You got to be versatile in this game. Something prized by Joe Madden. He would like that sign.
It's the utility sign.
Yep. That's going to be foul and out of the reach of Benedict down near the bullpen. 1-2 the count to Kapler. Hernandez has opened with a base hit. First hit the Rays have had since Aki opened the 3rd with a single.
I'd like to see Gabe use his legs a little bit. Using a lot of upper body so far. Use that lower half. Get through some of those low pitches.
And he sends this one into right field. A base hit. Hernandez stops at second. 2 men on.
Take a look at Gabe Kapler on this one. This side I'm talking about. A little leg kick right there, but see a little stiff with that front leg, but did shoot it into right field. He is so strong with the upper body. And he got that one into right field. But I think when he gets a little bit more rhythm and use of the legs, he's going to really drive the ball like he can. You take that right here in this game.
First 2 men aboard. First time the Rays have had 2 men on base at the same time all afternoon. Carl Crawford looks at a fastball for a strike. Or was that a slider that started wide, caught the plate? Two.
Pretty good fastball from Floyd. 93 on that one. Reach back for a little extra.
Stayed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Missed a couple times out there with a curveball. Rays trying to get something going. At this point, it's been pretty much all White Sox. Fouls it and toward the bullpen.
Gavin Floyd had to wait. There were 9 batters that came to the plate in the 6th inning. And like early in this inning, it's taken him out of his rhythm a little bit with his command. Especially on the curveball. First couple of curves anyway.
He hasn't walked anybody. Rays have 4 hits off him. And now it's a full count to Crawford. Crawford is out on strikes, missed the fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Floyd.
Yeah, that was a hittable pitch for Carl. He knows it. That was just a fastball 91 right down the middle. Carl just swung underneath it. Right there. .47 strikes of his 75 pitches.
1 out. Here's Evan Longoria. That's a strike. Floyd's been very good today.
Yeah, that's a big confidence builder for him to come back and get Carl Crawford, as Carl was battling him, had a good at bat going. And he got away with one right there too. That was a hittable pitch.
1-1. They've been caught looking on a breaking ball in the first. Rounded out to second in the 4th inning. Two balls and a strike.
Throwing a lot of sliders to Evan today. Did throw him a curveball in the 1st inning, struck him out looking, but I think that's the only one he's seen. But a lot of sliders down the way. Trying to stay away from his power.
The ground ball headed to short. Lillibridge gets one. First base for the 6-4-3 double play. And the Rays put 2 men on but do not score. They leave one of them. Double play into the inning, and we go to the 7th, 7-0.
Little league memory would probably be hitting a grand slam walk-off when I was 12. Probably the best feeling of my life.
Well, he's a good hitter, too. You know, Sonnenstein has hit 400 2 years in a row. He was 2 for 5 in 07. He was 2 for 5 last year. So he's a career 400 hitter in the big leagues.
You got to get him more at bats.
Yeah, exactly. Jim Thome takes the first pitch in the 7th for a strike. So, yeah, he's trying to work his way into the into the lineup here to start the road trip. He'll be pitching in Seattle.
He'd like to hit for himself too, right?
There you go. He's 4 for 10. Yeah. That's his career average. Thome hits one deep down the center field. That ball is well tagged off the wall. Kapler's going to play the carom. Thome's on his way to second with a double. He's on for the 3rd time. 2 walks and now a double to open the 7th.
Yeah, that's Jim's power. He's always been able to hit the ball deep to dead center field, left center field. He's always had great power. There's a backdoor breaking ball right there. He leans out and gets it. Great extension through that ball.
Yeah, he's just playing pepper with that 404 sign out there in the center.
So strong. I first saw him in Colorado Springs with the Indians, and Charlie Manuel was managing, and I was managing AAA, and I said, who is this guy? He was one of Charlie Manuel's favorites, which is one of the reasons he signed with the Phillies, and then of course he was traded to the White Sox. He's got Hall of Fame offensive numbers, that's for sure. One of the better guys in the game too. Really good guy, really personable guy, good teammate.
2-0 the count to Jermaine Dye. Yeah, he's one of those guys, just the kind of guy you would think comes right out of Peoria, Illinois.
Absolutely. Promotes the game, just a really, really good teammate. Good for the game. Not good for the Rays right now, but
nope.
Good for the game as a whole.
Dye takes a cut, fouling it, 2-1.
You know, when Thome first came up too, and he was in AAA, he hit the ball to left field better than, you know, pulling, and he still does. Left field, dead center. He rarely pulled the ball. His power was to like left center. And you try to get in on him if you can.
Fastball up and by him. It's 2-2. Jermaine Dye, 35-year-old outfielder. Briefly up with the Braves and then a run in Kansas City, out in Oakland. Now the White Sox, and a ball knocked down. Hockey tried to backhand it behind the bag at second, but could not make a play. Jermaine Dye is aboard, the first 2 men on.
First baseman number 14, Paul Konerko.
First and third as Dye picks up his second hit.
Yeah, that's the type of base hit. If he picked it, I'm almost thinking, God, flip it to Ben Zobrist to throw to first base. But he couldn't hang on to it.
And now it's Konerko who drove in a run with a fly ball to left in the 6th. Inside, a ball, no strikes. It's 1-1. Lance Cormier in relief of Matt Garza. Matt made 98 pitches through 5 2/3. Ground ball. There's a base hit to left. Thome's going to score. Dye will stop. Now it's 8-0 as Konerko picks up his 11th run batted in of the year.
This ball was just right in the wheelhouse for Konerko. He hits it right in the hole, squared up nicely. Flat with the pitch.
A.J. Pierzynski. Ground ball to the right of Zobrist. Nice play to get the out at second and over to first. A double play and a nice pickup by Zobrist, moving to his right to start the 6-4-3 double play.
Their double play turned by the Rays today. That was a great play by Ben Zobrist. Look at it, picking it, short hopping it, off balance, off the right foot. Akinora Iwamura turns it right there. I mean, that's another great turn by Aki.
Bennett, pitch to him is outside. Rays have been out hit 11-4 and they trail 8-0. 2-0. Cormier got the final out in the 6th inning. He gave up a couple of hits. All 7 runs charged to Garza turned out to be earned. The foul out of play. 2-1. One of those runs had scored as a result of Garza's throwing error, but the subsequent hits by Getz and eventually Lillibridge, and all of the runs, all 4 in the 6th, were earned. There's a base hit and another run is home. Dye comes down the line from third, crossing the plate. It's 9-0. The White Sox swinging the bats here this afternoon. Have 9 runs and 12 hits. Thank goodness for that sparkling play by Zobrist to start the double play. Brian Anderson swings and misses. Strike 1.
Well, I think the White Sox are going to be interesting because the big guys are going to hit, but if those guys like Getz and Lillibridge and Anderson keep grinding out at bats and getting walks and hits here and there, they're going to be a darn good offensive ball. They're going to be tough.
Look out, fellas. A collision out there between Kapler and Gross. And they held on to that ball for the out. Everybody's okay. Wow. So Kapler hangs on to the fly ball after the collision. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 9-0 Chicago. Run opened it back in the second. Garza charged with 7 of the runs. Cormier a couple. As we go to the bottom of the 7th, the Rays will have Carlos Pena due to lead off. Be sure and get in on the 09 Rays action with exclusive on-field seating with your group of 50 or more at the Checkers Bullpen Cafe. Available dates are going fast, so act now to make your private group reservations behind the Rays bullpen by calling 727-825-3406 or go to RaysBaseball.com. Some changes defensively. Owens in the ball game to play center field with Anderson moving over to play right. Jermaine Dye out of the contest. We saw Jerry Owens as a pinch runner the other night. And there's a line drive base hit into right field for Carlos Pena. That's going to extend his hitting streak to 12. So Carlos with a 12-game hitting streak.
Gavin Floyd still has a pretty efficient pitch count, only 80 pitches, 50 per strikes.
Pitch to Willie Ibar is down, a ball to no strikes. One and one.
One of the strengths of the White Sox, too, early in the season here has been their starting pitching. 4th in the American League in ERA, 3.94. Team ERA overall was below 4, 3.99 coming in.
The Rays have seen some pretty good starting pitching, including Gavin Floyd today. Early yesterday, and Bartolo Colon just to the right of the screen there. Even though he was charged with 5 runs, he left with men on base, and then eventually the Rays won that game against the White Sox bullpen. But Colon threw the ball pretty well, and Danks Thursday night was very good.
Yeah, and Bartolo left with a 5-2 lead before Ben Zobrist hit the dramatic grand slam home run off of Thornton.
Ibar lifts it high and foul and out of play up the right side. It's 2-2.
You know, the club started what, 13 and 15 last year?
Yep. Well, it's a process.
Yep. It'll all come together. Too much talent here for not to.
Ibar lifts the fly ball short center. Out from shortstop is Lillibridge. That'll be the first out. Dan Wheeler's up in the bullpen. Garza worked 5 2/3, and Cormier took over in the 6th. Worked the 7th. So with a day off tomorrow, Wheeler will need a little work before the Rays get back into action in Seattle on Tuesday. The game last night, Howell, Balfour, Nelson, and Schaus all worked out of the bullpen. And there's a shot off the bat of Zobrist, and he's going to get another one. Home run by Ben Zobrist. That's his 3rd. He turned that one around, and the Rays are on the board. Pena scores in front of Ben Zobrist for Alltel Wireless. Now there's a circle for everyone. Call 5, 10, or 20 numbers on any network with My Circle exclusively from Alltel.
Boy, talk about improved power. Those home runs, all 3 of his home runs are no gimmies. I mean, those balls are drilled deep into the right field seats.
So Zobrist hits one out. Gabe Gross bounces it to second, gets up with it, and the throw to first is in time.
You know, it's going to be tough, really, the way he's swinging, not to have him out there in the outfield quite a bit until the other guys get on track.
You know, and that's something Joe Madden had hinted toward. He said earlier that Zobra's showing the kind of pop he has. He said, you know, you've got to start thinking in terms of a corner outfield spot for him.
I think so. I mean, that's. Hey, listen, he's swinging the bat as well as anybody when he gets his time in there. I mean, even the pinch hit home run. So, I mean, you might want to see more at bats out of him.
0-2 the count to Aki.
That ball, the ball jumps off his bat when he hits it, when he squares it up. That grand slam he hit the other night was 3/4 away up in left field seats.
Ooh, strike 3 calls. Iwamura to retire the side. The Rays with a couple runs on the home run by Zobrist. We've now gone through 7. All right, Whit, thank you very much. As we go to the 8th, Rays down 9-2, and Dan Wheeler becomes the 3rd pitcher for the Rays, making his 5th appearance of the year. He'll face the top of the order. Here's Chris Getz, who singled in a couple of runs in the 6th inning. And the first pitch is a fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Getz 1 for 4. Lillibridge will be next, and then Carlos Quentin is due. Up and chased by Getz, 1-1. Garza worked 5 2/3. He was charged with 7 runs, and Cormier 2 runs in an inning and a third. Two and 1 to count. Breaking ball to the left-handed hitter.
Dan pitched well in that game that Zobrist hit the grand slam that the Rays won.
pop foul and out of play. 2-2.
A couple of big outs. You got Jermaine Dye struck him out in the 8th inning with a man on, and got Paul Konerko to ground out. Kept the ball down well the other night.
Gets with a little looper into short left, and that's going to fall in front of Crawford for a base hit. Getz has his second hit, leading off the 8th.
Well, you can't play that shallow in left field where that ball was. You couldn't have dropped the ball any better over Zobrist's head right there than what Getz did on that at bat.
Brent Lillibridge, he's been on 3 times again in this game. 2 hits and a walk. Ground ball third. Ibar will go to second out there. Over to first, and that's not going to be in time. So they get the force on the ground ball. Getz is the first out here at second base.
3 double plays turned already today. This one, Ibar had a little trouble getting rid of it. I don't know that he would have got it there quick enough anyway. It was Lillibridge can fly. But he made sure to lead out.
Now here's Carlos Quentin. Fouls that first pitch back. Strike 1.
What a surprise. Swinging at the first pitch.
Yeah. I'll tell you, your observation about him setting up like Canseco is just right on the money.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's just, you know, Jose played for me for 4 years, and I've never seen anybody in baseball almost copy his swing.
Wheeler stays away from him, down and away. It's 1-1.
I mean, he does a lot of antics, Jose did too.
Lillibridge at first with 1 out. And there's a long drive deep to left, and boy, that one is out of here. Well, he was waiting for the fastball, and he got it. Carlos Quentin hits another home run. That's his 7th. He hit one yesterday. He hit one the day before, and he has one today.
I mean, that's what he looks to do. I mean, every swing, that's a fastball up. Dan was trying to go inside, missed out over the plate, and Quentin squares it up. And that's what he tries to do every swing. That's what Jose tried to do every swing too, by the way. Canseco.
So that makes it 11-2. Now Jim Thome pitches a strike at the knees.
And Quentin really, I mean, Pedroia won the MVP, but had he not gotten hurt in early September, he might have hit 45 home runs, and he might have won the MVP of the American League.
2 strikes.
He hurt himself September the 2nd last year by his own doing on a pitch from Carlos Lee. He slapped his bat with his right fist closed and cracked a bone in his wrist. A habit that he's done his whole life. But he had 36 home runs and 100 RBIs when he got hurt on September the 2nd.
Thome hits one deep to left. That ball's going to carry out of here on an 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, and he takes it out the other way. So Jim Thome hits his 3rd home run. And the White Sox have added 3 more runs here in the 8th.
The power we were talking about with Jim Thome, outside corner, but that's the way he hits. That's where his real power is and always has been. Goes out and gets that. You got to pound him in if you can. Not let him get extended out there. He's done that his whole career, though.
Well, it's now a 12-2 ball game. And here's Owens. His first at bat. Pitch too low. 1 ball, no strikes.
White Sox hit 235 home runs last year, which led Major League Baseball.
Two and 0 the count. So the White Sox have 18 home runs this year. Rays have 20. There's ball 3 down to Owens. Well, that's in the final analysis all about location. And there's a strike. Quentin hit the fastball out. Tomey hit the breaking ball out. Good location for hitters.
Yeah. Just a couple of missed pitches, especially on Quentin, this location.
That's a strike to make it 3-2. So that's the second out. Time for the stay in the game hold of the day, brought to you by Just for Men. And for that, a refresher on the definition of a hold. Enters the game in a safe situation. His team has the lead of no more than 3 runs, at least 3 outs remaining. Potential tying run either on base, at bat, or on deck, and there are at least 3 innings remaining in the game. Just as middle relievers keep their teams in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. It's Paul Konerko. Pitch is down to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. Konerko with a couple of runs batted in this game with a sacrifice fly and an RBI single. A strike on the outside corner. The RBIs for the White Sox have been pretty well spread out. Getz a couple. Quentin 2. Tomey has 2. Konerko 2. Brzezinski 2. Bediment 1, and the other run scored on an error. That will make the count 2-2. 2 home runs in this inning. Back-to-back blast by Quentin and Tomey.
Keep thinking about what the D-backs think every time they see what Quentin's doing for the White Sox.
Fly ball into left. Crawford's there. Makes the catch to retire the side. But 3 runs score on back-to-back home runs. Carlos Quentin goes deep. Tomey hits one out. It's 12-2 Chicago. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-HOT-O. Gil Hernandez leads off. He's facing Clayton Richard, the left-hander. 7 innings for Gavin Floyd. 91 pitches for Floyd. Gave up the 2 runs on the home run by Zobrist. Two balls and a strike.
Saw Clayton Richard the other day, pitched well, pretty good changeup. Good move to first base also.
Out of play, 2-2. It's been all Chicago today with 12 runs and 15 hits. Hernandez strikes out.
What Hernandez got, that good changeup by Clayton Richard, giving the White Sox a different dimension down there. Thornton, a power lefty they got, and they got Clayton Richard that can change speeds really well. I think the key today, Dwayne, was Gavin Floyd throwing strikes. I mean, he didn't walk anybody, struck out 6. He got ahead of the count.
Ball, no strikes. Gabe Kapler in the batter's box. Well, Floyd didn't walk anybody. He really wasn't pushed much. Gave up the 2-run homer in the 7th after the Sox had built a big lead. That's a shot, fair ball down the left field line, back into the corner. Kapler on his way to second with a double. So he has his second hit today.
Third double of the year for Gabe Kapler. His last at bat in the 6th. He had a line single to right this time. Turns on a ball middle in from Clayton Richard. It hits just fair inside the left field line. Take a look at Gabe staying down the ball, getting through it. Pretty good balance right there. Get him going today. That's important. Especially with BJ up and coming out with the tweak in his quad today.
Carl Crawford takes a pitch down. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. Carl 0 for 3. Struck out his last time. Ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays won again today. They're 10-4. Swing and a miss. Crawford's out on strikes against the lefty. Blue Jays beat Oakland 1-0.
Is that a Roy Halladay game? I'm going to look and see. 1-0.
Well, Romero won it.
No, Romero, the young youngster that made the rotation.
And Ryan picked up the save.
Wow.
Longoria looks at a strike.
And Romero's 2-0. He went 7 innings today. No runs on 4 hits.
0-2. Ball, 2 strikes. Kapler at second, 2 outs. 2-2.
He held on to that changeup too long. How AJ picked that one.
Lifts it into right. Anderson makes the catch, and the Rays are out of the 8th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We are through 8 with the score 12-2 Chicago. Benjamin hit into the double play in the 4th inning. They needed another one to get out of the 5th. And the last double play, a nice job by Zobrist to start it. Aki turned it on the ball hit by A.J. Przinsky in the 7th. Wheeler got some work in the 8th, gave up 3 runs, and now Troy Percival on to get some work before the off day tomorrow and the beginning of the road trip. Percival faces Przinsky. There's ball 1. Przinsky homered in the 2nd off Garza. Rolls this one to Aki, and the toss to first in time. 1 away.
Yeah, this was a close game through 5 innings. It was only 3-0. Just blowing up on the Rays. 9 runs scored in the last 3 innings by the White Sox. Troy Percival in 3 games. Record of 0-1. He does have a save. And good to get some work in today, especially with the off day tomorrow.
Wilson Betamit misses that one. Strike 1. Change up. A base hit the other way. And the White Sox pick up another hit. That's 16 hits for Chicago. Now Brian Anderson, he has 2 hits. Well, there are hits all over the place up and down the Chicago lineup today. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. Two and one.
It's a good time to work on that. And he's thrown a couple of good changeups this inning. And I think Troy's going to need that. I mean, by his own admission, he knows he doesn't throw 95, 96 anymore. And if you don't locate 91 or 92 with a fastball, you better have another pitch to go with it. That's 2-0 fastball or changeup that he threw to Brian Anderson that normally Troy wouldn't throw. But if you get confidence throwing that, then you can do that in a safe situation, and it's going to make your fastball better. And you do have a safe situation.
Foul ball runs the count to 2-2.
I think if a guy like Frankie Rodriguez of the Angels could do that, it still throws 94, 95. Came up with a changeup last year, and it helped him save 62 games. It's a great equalizer.
Oh,
was that a flinch?
Yes, it was. 3-2.
He moved his whole body, but the right arm was stuck.
That right arm held off the rest of the body.
He jumped at it, but he stayed back with the hands. Jerry Davis. That's a pretty good pitch. Change it.
This is lined up the left side for a base hit. Down to second base goes Betamit. Anderson has his third hit. So 17 hits for the White Sox.
At least Troy's working on something, though. There's a couple of changeups there. It looked like he had the one 2-2. Jerry Davis didn't call it, and he came back with a 3-2 change. He slowed his arm down a little bit on that one, and Brian Anderson put it in play. I think it's great, though, that Troy's working on something.
That gets pitch to him is outside. One ball, no strikes. Back over the screen. It is 1-1. Picks up a strike around the knees. Fastball, and it's a ball, 2 strikes. Garza, Cormier, Wheeler, and now Percival. Getz fouls this one back.
The way Getz holds those hands up around his head and wraps the bat, you'd think he'd get up there and in on him. That's what Troy Percival tried to do last pitch.
It into left. That's going to be caught by Crawford. Quick throw back to second, and getting back just in time is Betamit as Getz lines out to left.
Troy Percival did try to go up and in, but he left it up, but out over the plate, and Getz was able to line it to left field. But because Carl plays a shallow left field, he was able to run that Line drive down. Right idea by Percival then.
Well, here's Brent Lillibridge.
He's looking a little older.
Yes, he is. Takes the pitch down. 1 ball, no strike. So his 2 singles and a walk. He reached out a fielder's choice and scored a run today. He was on 3 times last night. 3 walks and scored twice. So while Lillibridge is hitting only 158 right now, that on-base percentage is going north. How many times has he managed to reach base? Two and one.
Where was that? 12-2. It's not Jim Thome up there.
Well, he's established a reputation in
Yeah,
this series.
I think so.
Taking pitches. Well, there's ball 3. It's 3-1. Two men on with 2 men out. 3-1 to count to Lillibridge. He fouls it back. Fastball there. Lillibridge took a good cut. Fouled it straight back.
Get a free swing right there. Fastball up and out over the plate.
Jammed and pops a foul out of play. So he will get a new bat. Percy will make another 3-2 pitch.
Working on the changeup. Troy's thrown about 5 or 6 in this inning. Last one was a changeup.
Two again, and a swing and a miss. He strikes out Lillibridge to retire the side. No runs, a couple hits, and 2 left. Bottom of the 9th coming. It's 12-2 Chicago. has been the only source of offense for the Rays tonight. He hit the grand slam, the pinch hit home run in the game Friday night. That gave the Rays a 6-5 victory. And this afternoon, he hit a home run in the 7th inning to give the Rays their only 2. It'll be Pena, Ibar, and Zobrist due up here in the bottom of the 9th. And the Rays will face DJ Carrasco, the right-hander from the Chicago bullpen. Pena scored on the Zobrist home run in the 7th after he had singled, thereby extending his hitting streak to 12. And he lifts a high fly ball into left. Quinton coming in, and he's got it. 1 away.
Willie Ibar is a guy that's got to get going too. There's a couple of guys that have to get their swings going. Willie Ibar, Gabe Gross. It'll come in time. It's good they're getting some at bats. 118 right now as we speak.
Well, there's a strike. Willie 0 for 3 today with a couple fly balls to center and a pop up to center caught for the shortstop. It's 1-1. Ground ball down to first. Will be played unassisted by Konerko. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And Ben Zobrist will be the hitter. Rays will wrap up this homestand with this one. Tomorrow's a travel day on the off day. They'll be headed into Seattle, into Oakland, and Minnesota before they're back home. Zobrist 1 for 3 has hit the home run. One ball, no strikes. One and one.
One of the problems today, the Rays, when they have had chances, they're 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And the White Sox are hitting 500 with runners in scoring position.
Ben looks at it away.
Combination of good White Sox pitching and sometimes little hitters being a little bit over anxious too.
Zobrist takes this one the other way, slicing it back toward the corner. He's on his way to second. So he's 2 for 4 today. He continues to make a strong case for himself.
Yeah, take a look. Ball a little shaking action away, and Ben just stays with it, stays inside it. Nice little load on the back leg. Great head and extension down on the ball right there, tracking it. Shoot it in the left field corner.
And now Gabe Gross. One ball, no strikes.
Yeah, Ben is making a case for more playing time in the outfield, right field especially.
One ball, one strike to Gross.
You know, what managers do early in the season, people have asked me this all the time, why certain guys are out there. You got to play all your guys, and it all kind of levels out over time. You got to find out where you're at. 6 weeks into the season, to me, is about a third of the way to a quarter of the way in is where you find out where you're at with your club. But you got to play everybody early.
High fly ball back into center. Owens will have room. He puts it away, and this one is over. White Sox have taken the final game of the series, final game of the homestand, and they hand the Rays a 12-2 defeat tonight. Floyd will get